Welcome back, DFL fans. Welcome back to another presentation of DFL playoff football. This is the DFL playoffs. And you know what we're working towards? We're working towards Dream Bowl 5 in evil St. Louis. Who's going to make it? Both teams here have a chance, the Scorps and the Seamen. The Seamen are no strangers to the Dream Bowl. They've been to 2. Tied for the most with the Beavers and the ABCs. But this Seamen team definitely has seen its fair share of tribulation coming down these past 2 seasons. Not everything has always come easy to them. But they're looking to make it back to the Dream Bowl, try to be the first team to win 2 of them. This Seamen team, this Seamen offense is helmed by Jai Doe. Honestly, one of his worst seasons in Season 5, 17 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. Not usually a guy you see in the negative ratio like that. But oof, takes a big hit to start this game off. And throws a wobbler that goes nowhere. The Seamen in their classic blue. Scorps in their standard away uniforms. And a handoff to the right side. It's Roger Knight on his first try of the day. Roger Knight, 2-time MVP. Dream Bowl MVP. His resume speaks for itself. Really, there are 2 players in the GOAT conversation. Roger Knight is one of them. But here it's Jai Doe stepping back. And he has a man underneath. A great throw and catch to Derek Curtis. Derek Curtis, their kick return specialist. Also a pretty solid receiver out there. Good touchdown getter is Derek Curtis. He can get it for you on offense. He can get it for you on special teams. Seamen move the chains. See if they can do it again. Mark Bryan in motion to the left side. Handoff up the middle. Roger Knight. Surprised he got back to the line on that one. Some injuries for the Seamen. Rookie receiver Tony Culberson is injured. Right tackle Jared Bronson is injured. Those are just on the offensive side. Play action here. Ooh, really leaves that one a little short. May have had that one if he took that ball for a ride. But you've seen Jai Doe been making those mistakes this season. Gotta wonder if the mind is cracking with age. Jaido drops back across the middle, throws it behind his receiver, but he's able to make a play on the ball and catch it. But nothing after that. Too much effort needed to catch the ball behind him. And the Seamen's first drive will stall. I don't know if you're completely concerned as a Seamen fan with Jaido and his struggles this year. He's a different player in the playoffs. But, he's just been a different quarterback all season. Just not as strong as he has been in the past. Now comes out Craig Gray and this Scorps offense. Scorps offense really led by an incredible offensive line. Oh, and Craig Gray tosses one out there to the left side. But Leland Hickson was lurking underneath there. Craig Gray didn't see him. Craig Gray saw earlier today was promoting a Snickers ad that will be premiering during the Dream Bowl, which was just awesome. I love that. Just awesome. And I think it's because he's just one of the best guys, and so it's like, I'm glad he's getting that money. He's not one of the best guys. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, but Craig Gray, you're not you when you're hungry. Pitch to Rick Smith and a good play by the defender, Joey Vincent there. Joey Vincent, the Italian stallion. Very great, consistent corner for the Seamen team over the years. I did that wrong at the end there. But it's the Seamen ball after a nice little punch, but a nice little return by Derek Curtis. It's one thing you always love, having Derek Curtis on your team, a nice return specialist. Yeah, he can catch some passes for you. He's going to get some yards after the catch. But he's also a great special teams weapon. Jaido gives himself a fullback. Gives Roger Knight a lead blocker there, but nothing much going. Lead blocker gets caught up. Mike Larson caught up on the line. Can't really get ahead of Roger Knight. It's only a 2-yard gain. Sorry, that's stuck in my head. Now Jaido drops back, taking the snap from under center, looks left. Oh, and a nice play by the defender there. I thought for a second Jaido was going to get it over him, but Darnell Mack swats that one down. Jaido taking the snap from under center. From shotgun. Damn! Jaido looks to the right and has a man wide open. Who sheds a nice little push tackle, a soft little tackle, trying to be nice with these tackles, but you can't be that in this league. You got to be authoritative with these tackles. And the rookie, B.J. Hunt, with a nice little run after the catch. A run there for Roger Knight. It's going to be safe. Going to be nice. 2-yard gain. Nothing too big. A nice catch on that last play, B.J. Hunt. Seamen lost Tyrone Taylor in the wide receiver exodus over the offseason. So, they're really trying to fix that, those holes in this this team. The wide receiver room should have really had a catch there. He had a man open. Jaido made something happen there, made some moves, but just doesn't look like he was ready for that. Yeah, Seamen, trying to bolster their wide receiver room again. B.J. Hunt, Rashad Lester, 2 rookies in that wide receiver room. Rashad Lester, 3 touchdowns and a Pro Bowl appearance for the rookie in the NFC. Play action here. Looking right is Roger Knight. And Bundy. Talking a lot of trash there. Chris Bundy. Letting Jason Jones hear it. Clapping in his face. I think what this Scorps team feeds off is just confidence. I think they're playing their best right when they're playing confident football. They're playing competent when they're playing confident. But field goal on that drive will give the Seamen the lead. Just a 3-point lead for this Seamen team. But in this playoffs, you'll take that. Scorps, a great offense in the regular season, had trouble scoring in the wild card round. But here is a great return to start them off on this drive. Ben Miller, their backup running back, on return duties, gets a nice return back to the 35. They'll have great starting field position. Craig Gray, not the best appearance in the wild card. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Did have 142 yards and a great long pass to his running back. Speaking of the running back, Rick Smith making moves, busted out to the second level and makes it just near the 50. He looks upset there. Maybe he could have bounced that one out, taken that a little farther, but he got caught up doing some moves, trying to make men miss, and he gets brought down. But not before a first down. It's 3-0 Seamen, but the Scorps are now driving. This time a run to the left side and nothing going on that side. Rick Smith, Pro Bowler. He and Roger Knight had similar stats this season. Roger Knight, 10 touchdowns. Rick Smith, 10 touchdowns. A difference, Roger Knight, 3 receiving touchdowns, but Rick Smith, 4 receiving touchdowns. Both of these guys also potent out of the backfield. Rick Smith had a receiving touchdown of over 60 yards in the wild card game. Rick Smith had himself a game in the wild card game. He had 62 rush yards, 62 pass yards. So overall, 124 total yards and a touchdown, which helped lead the Scorps to a win over the rival Zany Zappers. They got the Seamen now. Ooh, Craig Gray tries to fit one in, but a nice deflection brings this to 4th and 9. And the Scorps are going to have to punch it away. So good defense from this Seamen team. Like to see them keep that up if you're a Seamen fan. Seamen trying to make it back to the NFC Championship. This is the Scorps' first playoff appearance. So it would be their first NFC Championship appearance if they make it. Seamen, no strangers to the NFC Championship. They have been 3 out of 4 times. Trying to make it 4 out of 5 times in Season 5. And a pitch to the right side. It's Roger Knight. Ooh. Number 63 needed to hit a little block there. Can't for Roger Knight. Not a huge gain there. Still, nothing to shake a stick at. It's 4 yards on the gain. Shido taking the snap from under center. Another handoff to Roger Knight. Tries to spin out. Gets a little tripped up by the defender, though. And that will end the first quarter. 3-0 Seamen in this divisional round. Seamen in the divisional round. They've done pretty well for themselves. They beat the Sword in Season 1. Lost to the Zappers in Season 2, but then beat the Veggies in Season 3 and beat the Sword again in Season 4. Shido takes the snap. Oh, and a great play by Gene Warren, the free safety, getting underneath that one. Honestly, maybe a little too underneath it for a free safety. But either way, he made the play. Ramen accidentally. And the Seamen are going to have to punt. This punt is sponsored by #honey. Disposable weed vapes. I'm smoking that shit that blinks. #honey. So the Scorps have the ball again, and this time they'll start from the 30-yard line. Started from the 35 the drive before, so starting field position obviously not the issue for them. They got to start driving the ball. Craig Gray not carrying his part of the bargain in these playoffs so far. Rick Smith, though, has been doing a good job on the ground. Huge hole for him there. He sort of misses it. Not gonna lie, he's in the DFL. Not like I shouldn't be criticizing, but honestly, that was like a parting of the Red Sea there, and it seems like he ran directly at the defenders. But maybe he saw something that I didn't. Craig Gray has the vision. I mean, Rick Smith. Craig Gray does not have the vision there. Nearly throws an interception. Steven Williams should have come down with that one. And it's 3rd and 8. This Seamen defense has been good. The screen pass, and it's going nowhere. They're trying anything here, trying the screen to Dennis Dickey, but he just gets caught up behind the line for nothing, for a loss. It's going to be another punt for the Scorps team. Disappointing so far for the squad. And the handoff up the middle doesn't go much of anywhere for Roger Knight. And the Seamen coordinators trying to figure out what their next game plan is. Looking through the binoculars. Trying to call the play that changes this game. Seamen, though, up by 3 at the moment. Trying to extend this lead here. Roger Knight in the backfield. They're going to give it to him on the weak side, misdirection. And what a run for Roger Knight, the 2-time MVP. Fights forward for the first down and looks like maybe took out Gene Warren in the process. Gene Warren, the Pro Bowler, we already saw him make a great play on a 3rd down earlier in this one. Comes up a little shaken up. That's a significant player to lose. Let's give you updates as we get them. As our sideline reporters, the women reporters, get us our news. A great toss. Oh, maybe a little too late. Dan Conley able to get back, make a play on that ball. Looked like a great ball to me, right off the right out of the hands. And a pitch to the left side. Roger Knight hurdles a man, has space, has Green in front of him. And a great diving tackle. Eric Swift may have just saved a touchdown right there. And that is a huge play. Holding them to 3 here versus a touchdown there. It's 2 different ball games at this point. But another pitch to Roger Knight. They're loving him outside so far. And why wouldn't you? It's Roger frickin' Knight. It's hard to say that he isn't the DFL GOAT. It's either him or Steve Alderman. Really isn't a great argument for anybody else. Jaido back in the pocket. Lots of time. Throws it into double coverage. That wasn't maybe the smartest decision. But Marquise Newman has an interception in this one. Had 2 interceptions. In the wild card game. And looks like we're getting news from our sideline reporter, Stacy. Stacy, what's the looking like on Warren's injury? Oh, it's looking like he's gonna be back. And that's looked like he's gonna be back in this one. He's gonna return. So thank you, Stacy. No problem. Yeah, I was gonna keep doing that bit, but I'm over it now. Kevin Hale is gonna come out to kick, and so that tackle, that big tackle by Eric Swift, is going to save a touchdown. And that just proves, kids, you never know. You have to give full effort. Sometimes you see these DFL guys, they're not giving full effort. You think, oh, they're made of code, they're made of ones and zeros, like they'll always give full effort every time. Like, no, like even though they're not technically real, they do act like real people. They've been given real life magic to make them act like real people. And so sometimes they don't act, like they care, because some of them they're just here to get money. They're just here to get paid. You could tell that's not the fact with Eric Swift. Eric Swift, he didn't have to make that tackle. He didn't have to make that shoestring tackle, but he clambered for that. He fought for that. And listen, 2:22 left in this half, and the Scorps have the ball, only down 6 points. 2-2-2. What do those angel numbers mean? It's going to have a lot to say about the Scorps. Balance, harmony, and alignment, often encouraging trust in the timing of life events, relationships, and personal growth. Interesting. That run goes nowhere. It's 2nd and 10. Honestly, what that tells me, 2-2-2, personal growth, and the accepting of timing of events, makes me think that the Scorps lose this one. And they're going to have to grow from it and learn from it and come back next year. But I don't know. They might not have gotten that message. Dwayne Devlin, the tight end, with a nice catch, going up and getting that one. And this drive is continuing. 2-minute warning. It's interesting, you have to understand that the spiritual aspect of sports plays a much higher role in the DFL than it does in real life. Obviously, if you cheer for your team, that does affect how good they are in real life. But in the Dream Football League, it matters even more. And so, things like angel numbers and the spiritual abilities and spiritual powers, they're real strong in the DFL. So you got to look at those angel numbers when they come up. 2-2-2, that's saying something about the Scorps, I'm telling you. I don't know what it's saying necessarily, but I'm telling you, I think it means Seamen might pull this one out. The Scorps have the ball, driving, a 2-minute drill to end the half. Scorps get the ball at half. So any sort of score here, 3 points here would be a huge swing, but obviously a touchdown would really swing this game in their favor going into the second half. They're 0-3 on third downs in this one. Have not been clutch so far. Craig Gray needs to stand up in these playoffs. Delivers the strike to the right side, but the comebacker comes back too far. And a nice tackle by the defender, Anthony Wilder, making sure he's not able to get that first down. You never know. Craig Gray tried to just get the ball in the hands of a playmaker, let him make a play. Anthony Wilder was the one that was going to make the play in this moment. He's been their best corner this season. You can maybe argue Joey Vincent was their best corner. But I would argue, you're just like the popular guys. You don't really know ball. Scorps really letting the clock go down. They don't want the Seamen to use any of this time to extend their lead. The Seamen, they're going to want to do that. Yep, they're going to want to extend that lead. And they'll try. They've got a lot of time, a minute left. If I were the Scorps, I'd be watching out for number 82, Derek Curtis. Sort of the fast guy, big play guy for this Seamen team. Tries to throw deep, throws it into good group of coverage there. Strong group, bats that one down. And all things considered, no matter what, at the end of this half, the Seamen defense has done a great job. The secondary has been very solid. And the middle linebackers have done a good job of holding Rick Smith to not much. Oh, and a great play by the lineman there, getting up to swat that one down. Chris Parkman. Get up, big fella. A nice play by Chris Parkman. Chris Parkman had a great season. 14 sacks on the season for him. And that's what a great player does. Even if he's not getting to the quarterback, he's still making his presence known, getting up, swatting balls down the line. Oh, and a deflected pass is caught. BJ Hunt, the rookie, has been all over the field for this Seamen team in the wide receiver room. That one gets knocked down by the defender, but caught and carried for a nice little run after the catch. This drive is somehow, back on. Looked a little bit dead in the water, but the Seamen keep rowing. And a nice throw there to the right side to Jason Jones. And suddenly the Seamen are starting to get into scoring position. Kevin Hale, their kicker, has hit a 55-yarder. It's up there in kick distance. So they're certainly able to hit the longer ones. Ooh, but this one is not going to be one of those longer ones after a great completion to Mark Bryant. Jido's trusty tight end, Mark Bryant. They're inside the 30 at the 25, nearing the red zone, and the Seamen will see how aggressive they are. They only have the one timeout. Roger Knight in the backfield. They'll fake the handoff to him, and it's going to be a sack. They're still in position, but Donnie Omens with a big sack there. He had a great game defensively against the Zappers. Seamen holding on to that timeout, letting the clock run. Going to use it to, secure that field goal. Lots of time coming off on this motion. Oh, and nearly another sack. That would have been a costly sack. 10 seconds left. Time stopped. Do the Seamen go for one play with 10 seconds left? I don't know. They will, it looks like, go for one more play before kicking a field goal. They do have their timeout, so even if they get inbounds. Oh, and it's completed. Yes, completed inbounds. That's Curtis, Derek Curtis with the catch. They take their timeout with 6 seconds left. Probably just take their 3 here and extend this to a 2-possession game. Yeah. I think the smart choice. Your defense has been playing incredibly. No reason to leave this at a 1-score game. And now the Scorps have 4 seconds left in this half. I would expect a squib kick. From the Seamen. It's the typical league strategy at the moment. Yes, there's a squib kick. Clock has started. 3, 2, 1. And he's brought down. We'll start the second half. It's 9-0 Seamen. No touchdowns in this game yet. Just 3 field goals for Kevin Hale. And the Seamen lead. Only 51 total yards for the Scorps in the first half. That is what has to change. Ultimately, their defense has done a fine job. Some big plays they've given up that have let the Seamen into field goal range. But aside from that, haven't given up any touchdowns. But they haven't scored anything on the offensive side yet. And with this offensive talent, that is just embarrassing. You can't get embarrassed like this as an offensive team. Rick Smith up the middle. Nothing. Ben Young on the tackle. He had 5 tackles for loss, 9 sacks. Ben Young, a Pro Bowler. And these linebackers on this Seamen team, they are a good squad, led by middle linebacker Jamie Burrow, classic DFL player. He is a great guy if you know him in real life. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. On the field, he is ferocious. And a pitch to the right side. Rick Smith, 2 guys to beat. Doesn't beat either of them. They both take him to the ground. Double team Rick Smith on a slam tackle. They make it 3rd down. The 3rd down has been the bane of this Scorps team. "17 plays for just 56 yards for the Scorps. Pitiful performance so far. No one in the backfield. Craig Gray sends Dwayne Devlin in motion. Looking to the right side. It's batted and intercepted. An embarrassing throw. And Anthony Wilder comes away with the interception. He led the team in interceptions with 5 this season. And that one batted down by Fred Tennell, the strong safety, into the hands of Anthony Wilder. And this is looking dire for the Poison Scorps. Seamen have a chance to make this real dangerous. Mark Bryan in motion to the left side. Real strong on that left side. And they're going to run it that way. Roger Knight can't hit the outside. Great job by the right end. Roger Knight is stopped. Just a 1-yard gain. Now Jaido from under center. Tappan is shifting to the right and knocked down by the defender. Jaido, this time from shotgun. Making most of his time, and he drills a pass into Derek Curtis. He's been having a solid game. But wow, a small window to throw that one in. Jaido nails Derek Curtis right in the stomach in between two defenders. Gets the first down there. That's really the difference in this game. Seamen just able to move the ball. You know, not impeccably. They haven't moved the ball impeccably, but they've been able to move the ball when they needed it on those third down plays. Roger Knight here. Ooh, staying way ahead of the chains on a nice run. Eric Swift has had some big tackles in this game for the Scorps. That there, you know, that was another play that could have been a touchdown had Roger Knight been able to get sort of that outside leverage. This Seamen team is trying to make the most out of the interception from Anthony Wilder. Ooh, a clothesline tackle on Roger Knight, but not before he gets the first down. And it's 1st and 10, ball at the 11. They can still get a first down if they get it to the 1-yard line. So the first down is still in play. Jaido will play it from under center. Drops back, looks right. Has a man open. And it's caught. B.J. Hunt having himself a game so far. Maybe one of the best games of his rookie career. Saved it for the playoffs. Seamen are looking at a nice situation here. Lots you can do. 2nd and 2 from the 3-yard line. Lots of options. They're going to hand it off up the middle, and they're going to lose a couple yards. Down at the 5. Got a red zone play. This red zone play is sponsored by isopropyl alcohol. It's my favorite alcohol. I drink it straight out of the bottle. I chug it. I chug that shit, honestly. And Jaido's under center. Strong to the right side. Taking his time. Has a man. Ooh! What a play. Randy Rogers, the linebacker, gets a hand in there. I thought Jaido had his man. But an extended arm holds the Seamen to yet another field goal. And it's only going to be 12-0. All things considered, the Scorps are in a nice position. given how their offense has been playing. The only problem is their offense has been playing how their offense has been playing, and they need to change that. Craig Gray has not had a good drive in the playoffs yet. And, Craig Gray has been talking a lot of trash, or he's been talking a lot about how the Scorps are overlooked by the media, and, how people, he was talking about, he brought up receipts of people doing the DFL Sporkles. They missed the Scorps. That was a team a lot of people missed. And I think that made Craig Gray feel kind of way. And, Craig Gray, he's been on record. He's a huge Sporkle fan. And so I think that he's really not, he knows about the Sporkle drama. He's heard about the Sporkle drama. And really, this playoffs to him is about making a name for himself. And he just hasn't been doing that. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions in the wild card game, and they won that game, and he had the 1 touchdown, but that was really a wheel route by Rick Smith, who's wide open, and he ran it for 50 yards, and so Craig Gray really hasn't had, I don't think, his playoff moment yet. And Rick Smith has been talking the same thing. He heard about the Sporkle incident from Craig Gray. But this team really needs to start proving, and start backing this talk about, they're underrated, they're overlooked, the media doesn't care about us. But, because look, Rick Smith, 27 yards. Sure, only 9 rushes so far, but, it needs to be better than that. 3rd down, 0 for 5. It needs to be better than that. If you're going to beat the Seamen in the playoffs, it needs to be better than that. Get a little laggy on the play action. Craig Gray across the middle has his man. And there is a 1st down, a 3rd down conversion. And I think Damian Jones' first reception of the game. That's someone you got to get more involved. Damian Jones didn't have a touchdown in the last game, but a good chunk of yards for him. He was their best receiver all season. 8 receiving touchdowns. Craig Gray here, 4 for 11 and an interception. And it wasn't a pretty interception. It's not like there are a lot of pretty interceptions, but some of them are uglier. That was an ugly one. Craig Gray under center. Strong to the right side. Lots of men in the box for the Seamen team. And, Rick Smith doing a lot of moves, trying to fool the guys who had his back turned to him, but ultimately they're going to be able to turn around and get him. That's 3rd and long. Again. Lots of 3rd and longs for this Scorps team. And not a lot of conversions, obviously. I think it's because this Seamen team has a great strategy against this Scorps team. But a nice completion there, and can't get the 1st down. Need to fight upfield there. Tried to move east to west. It's 4th and inches. Do they go for it here? They will not. Gotta wonder, if it was just barely into the 4th quarter, would the CPU act differently? It's going to be a touchback. And the Seamen, got to imagine they're going to start leaning on Roger Knight to put this game away. Roger Knight has done a good job on the ground. Rick Smith on the other side has not done the same. Seamen have done a good job of loading the box and stopping him. Stopping the outside runs. Oof. Nearly a good play for the Seamen there. Can't connect. And there will be one more play in this third quarter. I do think Seamen winning this will put them in the running for most championship games, most NFC championship games played, or championship round games in general. But the Scorps have a chance if they can make a thrilling comeback in the fourth quarter. Down by 2 possessions. All through field goals. No touchdowns yet in this game. Handoff to the weak side for Roger Knight. And he's got all the space in the world. That weak side run has been working all day for Roger Knight. Just give him space and let him go. 5 yards per carry for Roger Knight. The 2-time MVP is doing it. Continuing to solidify that legacy. Season 5, this is a big season for legacy. These playoff games, they're going to be on the internet forever. The older playoff games we can never see again. You can only hear about them through the text we may have put in the chat. But ultimately, you'll never get to see the moments again, except for Season 5. Season 5, these moments are being saved forever. The big moments, the small moments, the great moments, the horrible moments. So legacy is getting cemented in Season 5. Roger Knight trying to cement his legacy. The Seamen trying to cement their legacy as the best team to ever do it. Great tackle there. Jamal Johnson coming out and forcing third down. But it's a tale of 2 teams when it comes to third down. 6 and 11 on third down conversions. So over 50% for the Seamen. Totally different story on the other side. It's been the main difference in this one. Third down performance. And they're going to hand it off on third down here. They're thinking about the clock. The handoff to Tracy Mitchell. Trying to kill some clock. And, if they let the clock down, this will go down to just above 3 minutes remaining. Not a lot of time for a 2-possession game. See if this punt ends up solid. Nice little bounce back on it. Makes it a little better than just a touchback. Some solid backspin there. Yeah, they get about a 5-yard advantage with that punt. And the play by the kicking team. Here it is. The Scorps need to nut up or shut up. Craig Gray needs to nut up or shut up. Sends his receiver in motion. Up the middle. And a nice run there to start this drive. Rick Smith, only 34 yards in this contest. Gotta be frustrating for him. Seamen now playing prevent defense. Looking left. Nothing but a defender in his face. Third and 2. Can they finally get a third down here? Oh, they got a man open. Wide open. And that's going to be a touchdown. Unless he can get caught. No, he can't. Touchdown. Damian Jones. The #1 touchdown getter on this team. And Craig Gray finds him way too open. And that is a great quick drive, just what the doctor ordered for this Scorps team. 77-yard touchdown pass. Barely a drive. But boy, is this a gain now. Scorps defense needs another stop. You know, they've been no stranger to it in this game. The problem is they've been giving up some big plays, letting the Seamen get into field goal range before they make those stops. That's been the only problem on this defensive side. They haven't given up any touchdowns. Definitely can't give up one now. A Scorps comeback would be great for DFL media. Media would eat that up. Seamen, no strangers to tragedy. Especially in the playoffs. Honestly, you know, they've got more tragic playoff losses than they have amazing playoff wins. Roger Knight out the middle, though. Ooh, making a couple men miss. Two-time MVP trying to end this game. 91 rushing yards, 19 yards after contact. He wants to end this game. And if he keeps running it like that, he will. Another handoff to Roger Knight up the middle. Another great run for him. And this is where you love having Roger Knight. You know, you look at all the teams around this playoffs, and every single one of them has a great running back. This is the year of the running back. That was my narrative for the season, in the middle of the season. And it's going to come down to the running backs to win this one. Tracy Mitchell giving Roger Knight a breather there. Doesn't get much. It's going to be third down. They're 50-50 on third down. I wonder if they'll let this tick all the way down to the 2-minute warning before they take this play. Tracy Mitchell in there again at running back. And they will take it all the way down to the 2-minute warning. After this, we have the 3 o'clock game. Gonna be a fun one. It's always a fun one when you have the Beavers involved in the playoffs. The Busy Beavers are going to Australia to take on the Leaping Lizards, the 1 seed in the AFC. Here's Roger Knight. Oh, tried to make something happen, but too many defenders there. Dan Conley was the first man to meet him in the backfield. He spun around him, but Jamal Johnson was there to clean it up. Love to see that if you are a Scorps fan. Lots of purple hats on the football. And it's 4th and 2, and you're giving your boys a chance to win this one. It is 12-7, and the Seamen are punting it away. Fair catch right at the sideline for the Scorps. And the Scorps will start this from the 15-yard line. The same place they started the last drive. It was a 3-play touchdown drive. A deep bomb to Damian Jones. The Scorps are going to need another big play here. To the left side. That is a great way to start it. Craig Gray, 8 for 16, 1 for 1. A minute ago, if you checked his stats, they would not have been nearly as good. Craig Gray drops back. Lots of time in this pocket. Throws it right. Has an open man short. He's able to complete it inside for about 4 yards. Lots of time coming off the clock, though. Dropping back, looking right again. Ooh, bounces off the knee of the receiver or the defender. I couldn't really tell. Kind of lagged there for a little bit. Seamen turned on the lag switch. Craig Gray trying to hear the play, but it's loud in this Seaside Stadium. Crowd's loud, but you can also hear the waves crashing. Drops back, Craig Gray looking deep. Triple coverage. Doesn't have his man. Dwayne Devlin tried to high point that ball amongst 3 defenders. Just nothing doing there, and this could be the game. It's 4th and 6. Ball throwing 33. The Scorps need a first down. They have 2 timeouts left. So I don't think this is over if they don't get it, but nearly over. And that is a turnover on downs. Craig Gray cannot complete the pass. And Craig Gray not nearly his best game. And really, that puts the Seamen in field goal range. Field goal would be close to putting this one away. Obviously, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion could tie it, but Scorps haven't shown that they can make that. Absolutely nothing sustainable about this offensive process for the Scorps so far. And that's a run outside for Roger Knight, and that one's going to put this game away. Seamen are going back to the NFC Championship game, the most dominant team in DFL history. It's going to continue to be dominant and continue their campaign for a second Dream Bowl as Jai Do takes a knee out of victory formation. Again, folks, coming back at 3 o'clock for our next game, and it's going to be the Beavers, those busy Beavers, at the Leaping Lizards in Australia. And the Lizards are going to be hungry. I know they are. That is a franchise that wants some more playoff victories. They've had some solid ones in the past, but never been able to link those wins together. They get the one win and tend to drop out after that. This season, they're trying to change that narrative. But the Seamen, this is not a hungry fan base. This is a fan base that expects greatness from their squads. And greatness has been achieved in this game, I guess. No touchdowns. Maybe want to bring the offense to the drawing boards. But the Sea City Seamen are going on to play Le Random Sword. They're going to go to the Reddit Dome. We'll have a rematch of those two teams. Seamen and Sword have played have played twice in the playoffs. And the Seamen have beat the Sword twice. Both times in the divisional round. So we'll see if the Sword will be able to get revenge in the conference championship. But stay tuned for 3 o'clock where we will get to the AFC games today. And again, we will have the busy Beavers visiting Australia to take on the Leaping Lizards. Thank you, DFL fans.